Hey, what up? It's your boy Wicked Specialist here once again, taking us back to a bit of wrestling history as we look through a program that I got at an event. This one here, we're going back to 2004 for the Great American Bash. This was the pay-per-view that WCW did for years, and then WWE brought it back first in 2004, and they did my home state of Virginia at the Norfolk Scope. Was a huge event. It was a blast to go to. The main event was Eddie Guerrero versus JBL in a Texas Bull Rope match, and this was where Eddie Guerrero's title run ended, unfortunately, and JBL became the champ. Had that for a very long time after that. I want to say it was like a 9-month run with the belt, and he was a great heel champion. Great to get to see Eddie Guerrero wrestle in person because he passed away not too long thereafter, back later that November. Also, in that pay-per-view, we saw Rey Mysterio, John Cena, the debut of, what was that guy's name? Not Heidenreich. Was it Malachi? He was like the reverse Undertaker, dressed in all white. It was weird. Yeah. So anyways, let's take a look at this program, shall we? Alright, here we are. This is the SmackDown era in 2004. Also, the flip side for the Raw. So I will look at both sides of this program, seeing both rosters. Man, can't believe this is so long ago. So there's a different time. So let's go through it. Let's do SmackDown first because it was a SmackDown pay-per-view that I went to. So Kurt Angle was the general manager of SmackDown at the time. He's been general manager a lot over the years. This was a pretty good one. Good run that he had as a heel manager. Eddie Guerrero, the legend. Glad I got to see him wrestle in person. Next up, John Cena. He was making waves back then. Coming up, can't believe he'll be retiring next year. Been with him, been a fan his whole career. Like, I'm not one of the people that later turned out like, Cena sucks. Like, nah, Cena's always been doing what he's been doing. He's a great wrestler, great actor too. Dude, pretty decent rapper too, I gotta say. Like, he got some rhymes, especially back in this era when he was doing the rapping weekly, just about. Undertaker and Paul Bearer. Rest in peace, no pun intended, to the late, great Paul Bearer. Yep. And, so this match, the main event, was Undertaker versus the Dudley Boys. And they had Paul Heyman in a block of cement. Well, he was in a glass box. And if Undertaker didn't do what was right, as in turn heel and join side with Paul Heyman and the Dudley Boys, then they were going to bury Paul Heyman. They were going to bury Paul Bearer in cement. End of the match, end of the show goes on. Match goes on, Undertaker wins, and then he flips the switch anyway, and Paul Bearer gets, the container starts filling up with cement, burying Paul Bearer, and then that was the end of the show, where both me and my dad were looking at each other like, what? That's how it ended? I still have yet to watch the event on Peacock to see how it looked on TV, because in the arena it was a weird finish. I'm sure it was a weird finish on TV, but in TV that might have at least made a little bit more sense. Okay, moving on to next, the Big Show, back when he still had hair a little bit. I don't remember if I think he was on the card. I don't quite remember offhand. I should have done some research beforehand, maybe. Well. Booker T, the legend, five-time WCW champion. And I believe in this era, I want to say he was tag teaming with Rob Van Dam. I kind of remember that. And look at JBL. it is still wild to me that Hulk Hogan, a man who, growing up, embodied like America, like, you know, he was like America, like, you know, for everybody, and then he turns out to be hardcore Republican, racist, and then this guy JBL, who plays the perfect villain of that post 9/11 era, who became that and embodied that character so well, is actually the opposite of that in real life, which is crazy. Just wild to me. Alright, moving on. Rey Mysterio. He was only 2 years into the company here. Just doing great things already. Hit him with the 619. It's wild that he is still going strong today. Still kicking ass. Chavo Guerrero and Hardcore Holly, and then Chavo Guerrero Sr. Chavo was managed by Chavo Sr. at the time. I don't remember too much of the character, but known. The one Billy Gunn, I think he was the one Billy Gunn during this era, and then Charlie Haas. I always liked Charlie Haas. I was always hoping he would have caught on a little bit more. Just didn't happen, unfortunately. The Dudleys. Devon, Bubba Ray. You know, legends. Get the tables. What's that? All that. Huge fan. Huge fan of the Dudleys. Rene Dupree with Fifi. Wow, that's that's a deep cut. I mean, it's a deep cut now. I barely remember the kid. I want to say he was with like the Un-Americans later on. Spike Dudley, of course. That shirt. Oh my god. Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty. I think that it was a Too Cool split, or Grandmaster Sexay was just not in WWE at that time. Don't remember too much about that era, but love Rikishi. Love Sky 2 Hotty. They are great. The Basham Brothers. Man, now these guys. It's like you talk about like 2000s like names that were on the roster. That's these two. Ultimo Dragon. Oh man, I did not remember too much of his run in WWE, but he is a legend of wrestling, hands down. Funaki, he definitely made it work. Like, now the gimmick that they had him with, the whole, you know, dubbing over his lines like a kung fu movie is kind of racist. Okay, it is racist, but the whole evil thing, he made it work with what he did. Okay, now these two guys, I do not remember at all. But yep, they were there. Or I don't think they were on the card, but they were employed by WWE on SmackDown in 2004. So that's that. Alright. Some stars from WC. I'm not sure if Jamie Noble was in WCW, but Billy Kidman coming over. Yep, not. Remember Jamie Noble and Nydia, something like that. Go over here. We got Shannon Moore and Nunzio. Oh yeah, Shannon Moore actually saw wrestle in Virginia at a VCW event. And he's great wrestler, underrated high flyer. Should have got more. Alright, two more names that were in WWE at the time. Orlando Jordan and Paul London. London had a nice run a little bit later on at a tag team with drawing a blank on who his tag team partner was. But then he lost his job because he laughed at Vince McMahon in a segment when the camera was pulling by, and he's in the background, and he laughed, and then that was the end of Paul London in the WWE. Mark Jindrak, another name that was in WWE in 2004, and the legend Theodore Teddy Long. Holla, holla, holla. Legend. Rico and Miss Jackie. I don't remember this era of Rico too much. I remember when he was Billy and Chuck's stylist. And yeah. And now he is a police officer in Las Vegas. That's a fun fact right there. Johnny Stamboli and Dawn Marie. Yeah, the FBI with him, Nunzio, and some other guys. They were basically doing what they're doing on NXT right now, more or less. Dawn Marie from ECW. Don't remember. Oh yeah, she had that storyline with Vince McMahon back in the day. I think Vince McMahon had storyline with all the top women in WWE at that time. That's creepy then, but it's even more skeevy now, knowing what we know. Moving on. Now to Tori Wilson. Oh. Great. She really picked up, she made a name for herself in WWE. She was known in WCW, but then once WWE, when this whole run came on, she became a legend. Hands down. Sable. You talk about 90s WWE women, and Sable is the name. Just hands down. Michael Cole and Taz on commentary. Yeah, Taz's WWE run did not last long, but he still made an impact. Once he switched over to commentary. Good. Now let's check out these shirts at the time. Oh man, I would have totally rocked that Undertaker shirt. I probably still would today. The classic old school WWF logo with John Cena. John Cena's always had a history of shirts with retro logos that made it work. Rey Mysterio, bear, life size. No, I'm kidding. Never seen a teddy bear with tats before? Well, there you go. Alright, now let's switch over to, I'll make Raw a part 2 video. We'll do it like that.